Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It is Jen with Hominess Plans and I am back with another memory spread. For this week, I will be planning out the week of March 27th through April 2nd, and I'm using this absolutely stunning kit from TaylorMadeCreative Co. and it is called Tranquility. I fell in love with this kit when I saw it on Instagram. I started following her Instagram because of Shanice of Planners and Tacos. She raves about TaylorMade all the time, uses her journaling kits in her EC Compact Vertical, and I've been eyeballing it and wanting to use her stuff, but I just hadn't taken the plunge. And then I saw this kit and I was like, jaw on the floor. It was absolutely amazing. I immediately ordered it, and I ordered a couple of kits, which I'm really excited about. I'm going to use the other one coming up very soon. But yeah, I was very excited about this kit. It had a very relaxing springtime vibe. The name Tranquility really does do it justice, because it just seems, there's several scenes in here where a girl is reading, and there's a lot of bookshelf scenes, and the artwork in it, that rich artwork that we've been seeing so much in the community, especially in spring kits. I'm noticing a lot of shops have come out with a bunch of summertime releases, and there's some richness to them, but I really noticed an abundance of richness in the artwork in springtime kits, and I was so excited about it. So I had to pick this up. When I did get this kit, I got several sheets of the florals, and I noticed right away that the florals were very unique, very uniquely shaped and colored. And at first, if you were just to look at the florals themselves, you're like, oh, I don't know. Me personally, I was a little bit nervous. I was like, how am I going to pull these in creatively? So I had a lot of fun though. And I, again, got to flex some of my creative muscles and really put in the work. And I am absolutely obsessed with how this spread turned out. I picked up the journaling kit too, and the journaling kit came with two fashion girls, and I'm planning on using the second fashion girl in one of my other planners, because they were both so gorgeous, and I had an idea for what I wanted to do with the fashion girl in the sidebar here. I loved that scene of the torn washi. It was the little balcony scene. It looks like very Romeo and Juliet. I love that so much. I pulled in a lot of butterflies and dragonflies, because there were some foiled dragonflies and stuff on one of the full boxes, and all of it I had so much fun with. I pulled in another Pretty Pink Co. sampler. Those are coming in handy. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to go and order a bunch more samplers from the Pretty Pink Co., because I've been able to just pull in a foiled sampler and have literally everything that I need. The garland up at the top that I used in the date cover section, that was actually from a freebie that I received from the Pretty Pink Co. It was if you spent over $50 or maybe over $100, and it came with those washi trims and a bunch of different butterflies, which is what I used up in the date covers. I went a little bit more simple with my date covers on this one. I used the actual date covers from the kit, which I've been enjoying doing. I've been kind of going back to my OG roots, pulling in the date covers from the kits and just kind of seeing what I can do decoratively with the date covers above that. So had a lot of fun with that. And then I kept the month section very minimal as well. That's a circle frame from Sadie Stickers, and then the month script is from Paper Trail Plans. Okay, so starting off in the day-to-day, I marked getting up early, and I pulled in one of the lace scallop circles that came with the kit, and I layered it with, that's a daisy layered garland from the sampler from the Pretty Pink Co. I loved how I layered that. I alternated using some of the lace boxes in this spread every other day, whether to mark getting up early or sleeping in. I pulled in those, I think those are dandelions, a little dandelion bouquet, and then the little dragonfly deco piece came with, I think, the journaling add-on, and then of course the icon is from White Deer Stationery. Then to mark going to the gym, I layered a midi box from Perky's Paperie, layered it with a swatch box that came with the journaling kit, and I love this little piece of greenery that kind of drapes over the corner there. I love that effect that has. I have really been trying to get a little bit more creative with my layering, and especially with all of the journaling kits that we're seeing shops come out with in the community, it's really just giving that little extra layer of creativity in spreads, and I'm just having so much fun. I kind of went a little bit more simple, especially with the foil deco in the spread, just because the kit felt so clean and like, tranquil and peaceful that I didn't want it to be so busy. And I don't know, it may to you seem really busy just because I do a lot of layering, maybe more than some people, but to me it felt a little bit less busy than what I normally do. Okay, so I had a YouTube binge. I filmed some content, probably like reels, plan with me videos, and then I edited a plan with me. I'm trying to speed through because I'm already into Tuesday. So if you have any questions about any of the stickers, just leave them in the comments below. But as always, all the icons I use, if they're foiled, they're from Crafts by Towie. If they're colored, they're from White Deer Stationery. Okay, on Tuesday, I marked getting up early. Like I said, I alternated using the scallop lace boxes and then scallop lace circles to mark that. And I loved pulling in the little dragonflies. There were just enough to use for the first like 5 days, and then I ended up having to get creative with what I did on Saturday and Sunday. I'll show you that later. I marked going to the gym with my best friend. We do that every morning, or at least we try to. So I just layered the little yoga mat from Crafts by Towie over the greenery. I marked playing in my planner. I pulled in a little quarter box from the kit, layered it with some florals. The icon is from White Deer Stationery. And then I loved how I marked reading and relaxing. So with the journaling kit, there was a Polaroid box that came with it, but it had a scene in the middle and it wasn't cut out. So I ended up just like cutting out the little scene and using the frame of the Polaroid. And then as well in the journaling add-on, there was this little silhouette of this girl who had a book in her lap, and I loved pulling that in. I just love how that looked, marking reading and relaxing. I've mentioned this before, but I have an app on my phone where it's like you can look up, there's like books you can read and stuff. So when I mark reading, it's not actual physical books, it's on my phone, but I'm still reading. And then to cap off the night, I taught a Zoom class, so I pulled in another quarter box and some florals, and then the icon is from Crafts by Towie. Oh, also, if you see like butterfly clusters, those are either from the Pretty Pink Co. or Sadie stickers. That's where I get the majority of my foiled. And then the dragonflies and dragonfly clusters, those are specifically from Sadie stickers. Okay. On Wednesday, I marked sleeping in the exact same way as I marked it on Monday with the scallop lace circle and the florals and the garland from the Pretty Pink Co. I marked going to the gym the exact same way as I marked it on Monday with the little box from Perky's Paperie, the swatch from the kit, and then the greenery that kind of hangs over that corner. I love that. I feel like it's so simple, but like it adds such dimension to the spread. I loved it so much. I marked that I cleaned my house on this day. So to mark that, I pulled in some more florals, layered it on one side of the column, and then the icon is from White Deer Stationery, and I pulled in some more of those floral drops. I believe those came with the sampler from the Pretty Pink Co. that I used. I marked that my dad came over on this day. I love it when he comes over. He just comes over and like hangs out with me and my husband. He and my husband work together a lot, so he comes over sometimes and goes over some stuff with us. To mark that, I pulled in a quarter box, layered it with some florals, pulled in some butterfly deco from the Pretty Pink Co., dot clusters, and dragonflies from Sadie stickers. And then to cap off the night, I marked TV with my hubby. And I really liked what I did. On the Pretty Pink Co. sampler, there were like little foiled scenes, and one of them was a little branch with a swing set, and I pulled that in on one side of the column and then used florals at the bottom and then the icon from White Deer Stationery. Very simple. Like if you think about it, it's so really stupid simple, but it looks really good laid down on the page. I don't know what it was. It's just I really liked the way that looked. I also pulled in a dragonfly cluster and a dot cluster, both from Sadie stickers. Okay, on Thursday, I marked getting up early. This, again, it was very repetitive. There was several repetitive things that happened in this spread, but I loved the dimension that I gave to it. This kit was just so gorgeous. So like the more simple and like repetitive, it just, I don't know, it felt cohesive, and just the flow of it was great, to quote Lauren. So I marked getting up early the same way as I marked it on Tuesday with that midi lace box. I pulled in another one of those garlands from the Pretty Pink Co., the dragonfly little deco piece from the kit, the florals, and then the icon is from White Deer Stationery. I marked that I went to the gym with my best friend. That doesn't change. My morning routine really doesn't change. I go to the gym every morning with my best friend. We try to get in there at like 8:15 in the morning. She likes to take Zumba, and I either do like the Stairmaster or the elliptical, or I'll walk on the treadmill. I'll do like a 3:30 on the treadmill. And that gives me a chance. That's actually where I get to watch a lot of like my favorite YouTube videos, is whenever I'm doing cardio on the treadmill. That's where I get caught up on a lot of things, like YouTube wise. So, yeah. And then, oh, okay, this day was really fun. So I marked going to Techland with my dad, and Techland is a place in Houston where it's literally like a makeup artist dream. They have a whole section for if you want to create fake, like for body casting, for creating your own prosthetics. There's a whole makeup counter. There is wig selections, foam latex prosthetics, airbrush paints, silicone, pre-made prosthetics. It's literally like Candyland for me. And I had to go and pick up some pieces because I was getting ready for a film shoot, which that I will talk about in my next Plan With Me, because the following week I had to go on set. And I knew I needed to buy some pieces for being on set. So my dad, and it's in like the heart of downtown Houston. And I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before. I don't live in Houston. I live about 75 miles north of Houston, and it's about, if I want to go, I have to like, it's a whole journey, because Houston, getting there takes about an hour, but then whenever you get into Houston, you fight traffic like nobody's business. And it's like so clustered together. Like the city is, the road, it's a whole thing. And so I don't necessarily enjoy going to Houston, but this place, this makeup wonderland, is in downtown Houston. So my dad was like, I'll take you, I'll drive, don't worry. So, and it's also like a fun way for me and my dad to hang out. So he so graciously drove me down to Houston, and we went to Techland, and I got to look at all the makeup wonders and pick up what I needed for set. And I also got to hang out with my dad, which is a bonus. So to mark that, I pulled in a quarter box, layered it with some florals, and then the little brush icon is from White Deer Stationery. I marked that I bought some SFX makeup, so I layered a little midi box over a swatch, pulled in some florals, and the icon is from Crafts by Towie. And then to cap off the night, I marked Sushi Party at Lacey's. So I think I talked about this a while ago. We we labeled it Fat Guy Sushi Party because we end up getting, like, we invite a bunch of our like close friends over, and we hang out, we play like Cards Against Humanity, or this past time we played the voting game, which is another card game. It's really funny, especially when you have like a whole group of people. But we got her husband, like my best friend's husband, he got so much sushi, like so much. And sushi is one of those like foods that like you get really full, but then like you digest really fast, and so you can eat more. So it's like, it was an inside joke. We ended up calling it Fat Guy Sushi Party, but it was a lot of fun. So to mark that, I pulled in a third box, layered it with some florals or greenery, and then the balloon icon is from White Deer Stationery. Okay, on Friday, I marked sleeping in. Again, I marked it the exact same way. I had kept the same formula, but I pulled in the layered garland from Sadie Stickers, because on the Pretty Pink Co. sampler, I only had 4 of the alternating garlands. So I ended up having to use a layered garland from Sadie Stickers, which doesn't bother me. It still had flowers on it, and I think it looked really good. I marked that I got ready, marked that the same way as I marked like gym time, with a midi box from Perky's Papery, a swatch from the kit, and then I pulled in a little hair straightening icon from Crafts by Towie, which I don't really use those very often, but it's a different way to mark getting ready, which I really liked. I marked that I went over to my best friend's house. That's, she also is who I work the entertainment company for. It's her company. So we had to pick up our equipment, our airbrush equipment from over there. Me and my husband did. Then I marked that we got in a terrible traffic jam. I don't remember what was going on, but there was it was stopped traffic. So we were kind of late to our event, but that's traffic. There's really not much you can do. Me and my husband did balloons and airbrush at a McDonald's. They were doing like a spring break event at McDonald's in one of like the play areas. So that was pretty fun. And to mark that, I pulled in another box it's a mini box from the kit, and I marked that with some green florals, and then the custom balloon dog is one that my mom made for me. It is my favorite icon. I love pulling that in whenever I mark doing events. I've talked about this before, but like every time I mark airbrush or balloons, those are icons that my mom made for me. For the longest time, I was like struggling to find a way to mark balloon events and airbrush events, and my mom, she came through. I love you so much. Mom, I know you're watching. Okay. On Saturday, I marked sleeping in, and again, nothing different. I marked it the same way as I marked either waking up early or sleeping in throughout the week with one of the lace midi boxes, pulled in some florals. I didn't have another colored journaling dragonfly piece, so I pulled in a foiled butterfly. That's from the Pretty Pink Co. The icon is from White Deer Stationery. I marked that I went back over to my best friend's house. We had to pick up more equipment because we had another balloon and airbrush event. So to mark that, I pulled in some more greenery from the kit. The icon is obviously from White Deer, or no, not White Deer, that's from Crafts by Towie. Pulled in some more of those flower drop, dangly thingies, the drops. And then I marked that we had an airbrush event, and I marked that with a quarter box from the kit, layered it with some greenery from the floral add-on, dot clusters from Honey Inked, and the little dragonfly is from Sadie Stickers. And then, of course, the little airbrush icon is a custom that my mom made. I marked that I went to the gym in the evening, and I really like the way I marked that. I pulled in a little swatch piece from the kit, layered it with floral, some dot clusters from Honey Inked. I pulled in another one of those little branches, bird branches from the sampler from the Pretty Pink Co. And I really liked the way that turned out. And then at the very bottom, I marked Hello April, and it's very simple how I marked it, but it's so pretty in my opinion. I pulled in another swatch from the journaling kit, pulled in another bird branch, a dot cluster from Honey Inked, and then the dragonflies are from Sadie Stickers. And then I just pulled in a piece of greenery, and it's very simple. Obviously the script is from Paper Trail Plans. It's very simple, like a more simple way to mark hello month than I've done before, but I really like it. Okay, on Sunday, nothing new. I marked getting up early, same way as I've been marking it with that scallop lace circle. The floral bouquet, pulled in some more drop garlands from Sadie Stickers, and then the little bird branch I just think is so cute, draped across the little floral bouquet. I marked that we did balloons and airbrush, marked that the exact same way, layered the swatch box with a midi box from Perky's Papery, pulled in another bunch of greenery from the floral add-on. Then, of course, the little balloon icon is from my mom. She asked me the other day if I'm running out of those icons, and yes, Mom, I am. I use them so often, but they're so cute. They're the perfect size. I marked that we relaxed at home, and I just created a little floral bouquet with some greenery and a floral piece from the kit, and then the pillow icon is from Crafts by Towie. Okay, so I marked that me and my husband watched the first Terrifier movie. If you guys have heard of this movie, oh my gosh. So as a special effects makeup artist, I freaking love this movie. The special effects that were the practical, like the bloody, gory effects in that movie were insane. They were so freaking good. And then I did some research on it. The director was also the special effects artist, and he went ham. And it wasn't like too much. Like it was over the top, but it was like, wow. It was so good. I freaking loved it. That's like the freakazoid in me. I love like scary movies and Halloween movies so much. Anyways, that is it. I also had some leftovers from the kit. Here's a Viv Wiggle. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jen. I do planner things. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope everybody is staying safe and well, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.